Hi, I'm Iris LeVay and I'm reporting for Kids News.
Hi, I'm Atticus Jenkins and I'm reporting for Kids News.
And who am I?
It's
David
Walliams.
David Walliams!
What was your inspiration to start writing?
Well, I think to start writing, it's often if you've got something you want to say, something you want to communicate with other people. I think that's probably the absolute best place to start with anything creative, whether you be painting a picture or whether you be trying to make your own little film or writing a story.
Why is Raj in so many of your books but he is never the main character?
Oh, that's a good question. So Raj is a character in a lot of my books. Well, the very first book I wrote was called The Boy in the Dress. And Raj was the newsagent character. And I thought, well, he's quite a useful character because he's a friend to Dennis, who's the boy hero of the book, but he's not a teacher, he's not a parent, he's a grown-up, but he's quite silly as well, quite childish in a way. And then I put him in the second book, Mr. Stink, and I thought, oh, maybe Raj could connect all the books, connect all the stories as if they're all happening kind of in the same place. But saying that, then I started to write books which were not set in the present day, like Awful Auntie, which was set in the 1930s, or I wrote Beast of Buckingham Palace set in the future, and so I couldn't really have Raj anymore. So, but he's like my lucky charm. That's how I'd look upon him, you know?
What out of all of your books do you find you're most proud of?
My favourite book I've ever written is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Wish I'd written that one. Well, you want to hope that your books are getting better as you go along, because I've been writing books now for about 13 years. So the first one was The Boy in the Dress, and lots of people say that was their favourite, but I like to think that my best book is still to come. So I've got a new book coming out called Space Boy, and I hope that's my best book. But the nice thing is that people have different favourites. You know, when I meet kids around the world, they have different books they like. So hopefully it's not just like I've written one good one and the rest of them are rubbish.
Is there anything the billionaire boy has at his house that you want at your house?
Yes, there is something the billionaire boy has at his house that I'd like at my house, which is a water slide. This is my dream. So if I can sell some more books, you could help me here. If I can just sell a few more books, I would be able to afford a water slide going from my bedroom all the way down, looping, and going into a swimming pool. So I could wake up every day and go on a water slide, because I love water parks and I love water slides, and I go on them with my son all the time. And so that's what I want that Billionaire Boy has, and that's still my dream. If you had $1 billion, what would you like? What do you think?
Just being able to go to the shop and being like, oh, I want this, and then just being able to buy it.
And what about you? Is there anything specific that you would want if you had $1 billion? What do you think?
I'd probably get as many books as I could.
Books? That's good. We'll make sure they're my books. Okay.
Which of your characters is most like you?
That's a good question. Which of my characters are most like me? Well, I think when you create any kind of character, there's always a bit of you in it. Even if it's a baddie or something, even if it's, Awful Auntie, not like me, she's the 1930s, she's a woman, she's got a pal, but still there's something perhaps, maybe a slight sort of sense of humour or something I share with Aunt Alberta, that character. But probably the character I'm most like is Dennis in The Boy in the Dress. Because when I was younger, my sister used to dress me up as a girl because she wanted a little sister, not a little brother. So she used to dress me up in a bridesmaid's dress and a fur hat, and she'd parade me up and down the street where we lived. Last time was about 2 or 3 years ago. And one thing you can do is get your revenge like me many years later and write The World's Worst Children, because I base one of the stories on my sister. Become writers, and then you can cast your brothers and sisters in all kinds of different roles and finally get your revenge.